Okay, I'm sitting down here at the studio. Actually, I guess you could call it a studio. Over here at my paint station, just playing around with this figure. As you can see, I painted a star on his helmet. I put the Oklahoma symbol for the Thunderbird unit. Thunderbird unit symbol here on the side of his helmet, being as I'm from Oklahoma. And I put the stars on his collar. So he's basically finished, except for one thing, and that's the band on his cigar, which I'm going to show you how to do here, which is kind of the same way. What is that? I got a wasp on my light up there. Can you hang on just a minute while I get back again? One dead wasp. So, when I put symbols and things on dark colors and stuff like that, well, even on light colors for that matter, after I paint the symbol, I like to outline them in black. As you can see here, again, it's just like these little black lines on the face. They make everything pop out. That's why I do that. Now on the cigar symbol up here, or cigar band, I'm going to do it just a little bit different, but basically it's the same thing. It's going to end up with the cigar band will have a black outline. Alright? But before I do that, someone asked me why I painted brown on the helmet first and then came back and painted green to give me an olive drab color. Well, being as I'm working in a solid color over a wide area, I can do that. And the other part of her question, why did I blend the colors on the face and not mix them together earlier, you know, on my paint pad before I applied them? Well, I'll show you. Maybe. First of all, how do you get brown? How do you get colors? Okay? Alright, I've put three primary colors out here. I got blue, yellow, and red. And let's just aim for, first we want to mix together, what does red and yellow make? Well, it makes orange. What does yellow and blue make? It makes green. So let's just do a little experiment. We take a little yellow and we put it here. We take a little blue and we add to it. That gives us a green color. Now what if we add red to the green color? Well, watch. It gives you brown. And it'll give you variations of brown depending on how much you mix to it. See, there we have burnt umber. Now if I add a little more yellow to it, there we have a lighter tan. Add a little red to that. You can see how the colors change just with using primary colors. And that's what happens here on the face when I paint, when I mix, let me turn the brush out here. When I mix yellow with red, I get a similar flesh color. Now I use red iron oxide. That has just a little bit of, well, that actually is red iron oxide right there. Because I don't want straight red, because yellow and straight red is going to give me orange again. Well, I don't want that. I want sort of a rusty red, and that red iron oxide, just by its name, you know, by oxide, sort of signifies rust. That's going to give me that color that I want. All right? I hope that's explanatory. But anyway, one of the beautiful things about painting is mixing colors. And I love to do that because it's just so much fun coming up with, you know, darker areas and highlights on noses and how different things affect color, like the sun shining on a person's face will give the face a deeper color in the areas that it hits mostly, the high areas like here on the cheeks and things like that, the nose. All right? Anyway, I hope that's understandable. So getting back to painting the cigar bait. All right. Get his head off here. Like I said, I'm going to do the reverse. Instead of painting the band and then outlining with black, I'm going to paint the black and then I paint the band on top the blank. Black, blank, 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 blank. Going blank here. I'm no art teacher. So I'm going to make the area for the band, or the emblem right here of the band, a little bigger than I would normally. And then I'll paint the band. Just carry that on around here. I think people who go down to the hobby shops and wherever they get their colors from and just buy these colors that they think matches what color they want. Like anyone who goes down and buys a flesh color is missing half the fun of painting flesh tones on something, because flesh tones vary so much. There is no one color, and generally the color that they buy in that bottle is to me, such a sickly looking color. People just don't look like that. What if you had to go buy it? All right, you go down and you buy flesh color. What color do you get? You get some sort of pinkish looking white. Well, that's one flesh color. What if you're painting a black or an Indian or an Oriental? That color's not going to work. It's not a flesh color then. So it's best just to learn how to mix those colors, and then you're not going to have any trouble. Okay, I'm going to take a moment here to dry that out. Okay, I've got my black on there, so now what I'm going to do with gold, I'm going to paint. First thing I'm going to do is change my glasses because I can't see nothing. Since Judy and I had our cataracts removed, your vision might be great far away, but getting up close, you can't see a darn thing. Where before we had our cataracts done, we could see up close, but we needed glasses to see far away. Didn't that screwy? I'm putting paint on straight because if I did this with water mixed in with my paint, it'd be a big mess. Water and color would just go everywhere. She's trying to follow me. I hope I didn't upset anybody who buys their flesh paint down at Hobby Lobby. I just want, I'd like people to realize wood carving is fun, and I really enjoy it, but it's not everything. I enjoy sitting down there painting. Okay, so there I've got his band fairly well painted. Now, I'm sorry. Okay, now the last thing I'm going to do here, just to make it a little more interesting, being as I have some red iron oxide out here, I'm going to get me just a little bit on there. And just put something in there in the center, like that. There you go. See that black band, the black outside thing, just like it is over here, really pops that thing off of there. Otherwise, that gold the band would just disappear and not show up hardly at all on that cigar. Okay? So, that's it. We're finished with this thing, all except for varnishing. And that's what we're going to do next. Okay, getting ready to varnish this thing. The epoxy's set up. When I varnish a figure, I use Minwax polyurethane satin finish. Okay? Some people use blow. Well, you probably know my feelings about blow if you've ever watched these videos or my blog for very long. Just don't use that stuff. That is the most, it's just terrible. It might look good when you first apply it. Years later, maybe after you're gone, someone's going to look at your carving and says, boy, what is that crap all over this carving? It's collected all kinds of dirt and everything else. Blow never really dries, and then when it finally does dry, if it does, it just crystallizes and you get this white crap. Just don't do it. A restorer once told me that blow on stuff is one of the worst things they confront when they're trying to do something. Okay, now, I go down to Lowe's and I buy these little 1-inch brushes. They're about $1 a piece, maybe not even that much sometimes. And they're good for, about 10 times till the, till the fibers start wearing down. And then I just toss them and go pick up another one. It's cheap and that's what I like. Alright, now when I paint this varnish on, I'm going to really just lay it on just as thick as I can on his face because it's going to soak into the wood. And that's exactly what I want. And also notice how when I do this, how the colors change. See, the colors start coming alive. By laying it on thick, I know I'm going to get it in all the areas where it's supposed to go. And sometimes I might come back 3 or 4 times on the face of a larger figure I'm working on with varnish, because so much of this varnish soaks into the wood. And by soaking into the wood, it also gives the wood a little extra strength. You can see now that where before the figure looked kind of bleached out, it doesn't look that way anymore. We'll just keep going around this, make sure we get up in there. Get his cigar here. See, look at the difference. This is the finished color here, and that's what it was before. Quite a bit of difference. Now, as I get up here on top, the varnish will soak in a lot more than it is down here on the bottom. And also, when you put heavy paint on an area, the paint, it's going to seal the wood more than the wood would be sealed when you're using just light washes like we did up here on his face. So I'm going to show you here in a minute how to take care of that. See how the helmet stays shiny? That's because there's a lot of paint on that area up there. Yet the face is already dulled down. See there? As much paint as we put on there, it's soaked all that up. I might just put a little bit more on there. Well, I've got it in my brush. See down here where it's all soaked in? It's all ingrained down here. So that really really sucks the varnish up. Okay, so we got him varnished there. Let's just set him here for a second. Now I'm going to go out and wash my brush and then come back and show you how to get rid of that shine. Okay, I've got him all varnished now. Just got through cleaning my brush. It's been about a minute or so later. And you can see where the helmet, where we put lots of color up there, is still pretty shiny. Okay, well we're going to get rid of some of that. With a paper towel, don't use Kleenex, don't use cloth of any kind, use a paper towel. And you can wipe off the majority of that varnish where it's in the areas where the paint was put on pretty heavy. Just gently wipe it off. If you use cloth or Kleenex or something like that, it's going to leave fuzz, and you definitely don't want that. And if you wipe too hard with this, you'll leave a little fuzz, but if you're careful, you won't. It's windy out there today. And also, you know, thinking back to what I was telling you about mixing colors and things. I'm not the expert on that by any means. So, you know, someone who paints and tells you something different, well, maybe they're right and I'm wrong. I don't know. I'm just telling you things that I've learned from my own experience. There. Now we'll set him aside to dry. I think he looks pretty snappy. Now there's one other thing you can use to cut the shine, and let me go get it just a second. I use this a lot when I'm painting. You can find this down at Hobby Lobby. This costs $5 for a can, and it'll last you a long time because it don't take much. Once your carving is completely dry, like when this dries completely, there's going to still be a little shine left on the helmet. With this, you can cut that shine down almost completely. But one thing you have to remember, this is a mineral-based product, and this is a lacquer. Lacquer will eat that. So you have to be extremely careful when you're putting this on. Remember, your varnish has to be completely dry after a couple days. Come back, and if you see a shiny area, just kind of hold your carving out to a side and just go, just like that.
Oops.
And let it dry. And if it needs it again,
do it one more time.
wait till this is completely dry. Just go just like that again. If you try to go like this, you're just going to eat that carving up, and it'll probably turn white on you. You don't want to do that. But this stuff is great for, you know, killing a high spot on your carving. So anyway, once this dries, and I probably use a little bit of that, I'll put some final photos on my blog, which will show how this thing turned out. See there, I'm rubbing it too much with this, and it's picking up a little of the fiber, so I'm going to stop. Okay, but I think he turned out really nice. I wonder if some Oklahoma guy is going to buy that. Anyway, that's going to do it for this project. I hope you enjoyed it, followed along with me. Hope I gave you some information you can use. And until I can come up with another project, I'll talk to you later.